As far as Wong goes, look, if the Tigers were interested in Wong, where would you put him? I mean, you're going to make Jonathan Scope your backup first baseman? That would make sense. Or are you going to move? You would have to move Scope, I'm assuming, in the $7 million, right? I mean, just to have that much money in one spot doesn't make much sense to me.
So, I mean, one of the things, and Wong actually graded out really poorly at second base last year, which is not consistent what he's done throughout the rest of his career. So I don't know what to make of that. I don't know if he just had a really bad year or they were positioning him differently. The one thing that you can do at Statcast is you can click on a player and break down where their outs above average came. And Scope was great everywhere last year, but more than half of his outs above average came in positions that he won't be able to be in next year. So on the other side of second base and in the outfield, the shallow right field. So, I mean, he's still going to be an above average defender, but not necessarily. It's not one of those things where like, hey, we can't move him because his glove is so good. Yeah. And I would consider sending him to third base if you're going to keep him. He's definitely got the arm strength, right? We know he's capable of handling first base, which is, he's got a good glove, basically. He was pretty good at digging balls out of the dirt. So I think he could survive just fine at third base. And theoretically, he's kind of fits the profile of a third baseman more than a second baseman anyway. In the traditional sense, a slugger. He didn't do any slugging last year, but I don't know. Maybe a position that is not quite as challenging defensively might help. I don't know. He hit pretty well playing first base. So, I mean, that's just one option. They've got a handful of guys now on the infield that they can play at third base, second base. I don't know who's going to win the job there.
Well, I just think that in terms of Kolten Wong, I've always liked the player, and in my opinion, Tigers, especially offensively, position-wise, they need talent. Are they if they were able to get Kolten Wong today for a minor league package of players, are they a better team than they were yesterday? I think they are, because I just think that he's a talented guy. You plug him in and you make it work with the other guys you've got on hand. That's kind of where they are. I don't think they're in much of a spot to turn down talent. And I like Kolten Wong, so I think that would be a good fit. I think Chris is right on. I think moving Scope to third and letting him play a little bit of first here and there and moving around the infield. I don't even know why he couldn't do a Johnny Peralta clone at shortstop for a couple games when they need him. So I like the idea of Kolten Wong quite a bit.
Yeah, you, John.
I think I would prefer a little bit more power out of his bat. I don't think he's much of a power hitter. And for me, I would prefer, like I said, this team has money to spend. I would be more open to them finding an infielder on the free agent market, like maybe a Brandon Drury or a Gene Segura. So it really just depends on the Brewers' asking price for me, because for me, I would just like someone with a little more power, and I'm not a big fan of giving up prospects, especially for this team who you would think is trying to still build for the future, unless they really view Kolten Wong as a long-term fit. I believe he's only on a 1-year contract, if I'm not mistaken. So I'm not the biggest fan, if I'm being honest.